Welcome to the Folktale Project. This is Dan Schulz. This week, we're looking at some Aesop tales because, well, they're short, they're sweet, but they're always so packed with morals. Our first story is a story of recognizing that we all have fear and worry in our lives. This is The Hares and Frogs in a Storm. Upon a great storm of wind that blew among the trees and bushes and made a rustling with the leaves, the hares, in a certain park where there happened to be plenty of them, were so terribly frightened that they ran like mad all over the place, resolving to seek out some retreat of more security, or to end their unhappy days by doing violence to themselves. With this resolution, they found an outlet where a pail had been broken down, and bolting forth upon an adjoining common, had not run far before their course was stopped by that of a gentle brook, which glided across the way they intended to take. This was so grievous a disappointment that they were not able to bear it, and they determined rather to throw themselves headlong into the water, let what would become of them, than lead a life so full of dangers and crosses. But, upon their coming to the brink of the river, a parcel of frogs, which were sitting there frightened at their approach, leaped into the stream in great confusion, and dived to the very bottom for fear, which a cunning old puss observing, called to the rest and said, "Hold! Have a care what ye do. Here are other creatures, I perceive, which have their fears as well as us. Don't then let us fancy ourselves the most miserable of any upon earth, but rather, by their example, learn to bear patiently those inconveniences which our nature has thrown upon us." And that is Aesop's The Hares and Frogs in a Storm. And in it we see, as I said, that moral of we all have fear. Let us not be driven by that fear, and let us not live continually in fear, because we're all afraid of something. This is Dan Schulz for the Folktale Project. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Overcast, anywhere you like to get your podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Folktale Project. You can find us on Auto Radio, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere you like to listen. And you can always head over to folktaleproject.com, where you'll find a new story waiting for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As always, thank you so much for listening.